Welcome friends, welcome back to the kitchen. Today we're going to make a side dish. Once upon a time, long time ago, I had a side dish. It was called Caponata. And I thought, I don't really like this. But there's elements of it that I do really like. I did like a lot of the flavors that were in it. But it was very heavy on the aubergine or eggplant. I'm not a huge fan of eggplant. I like eggplant in small doses. I find eggplant, if all of the myths persisted that eggplant was poisonous or made you crazy, that kept people for hundreds of years in Europe from eating eggplant had persisted, I'd be fine with that. I like it in small doses, but that's it. So I sort of took the idea of that dish, the caponata, and I have massaged it over the years into something that I do like. And so I take some elements from that and I take elements from other places and we put it all together, we stick it in the oven, and we've got a great side dish. So in this bowl, I'm going to start out with, this is half of one of those big red onions that's just sliced up. I've got a small aubergine or eggplant. Got some cherry tomatoes, just a handful. I've cut them in half. Those go in. Got a couple of regular sized tomatoes, sliced fairly chunky. Those go in. I've got some pitted green olives. I'm going to put those in. Oregano. Red pepper flakes, because, well, I like red pepper flakes. Salt. And pepper. Okay, so don't get hung up on the vegetables I used. If there are vegetables that you think would go in here that you really like, put them in. So we drizzle in some olive oil and then some balsamic vinegar. And we give that a toss. Coat everything with all of those flavors. Stick that on the table as is and it would be a pretty good salad. So I've got this cast iron frying pan, enamel coated cast iron frying pan. You can do this on a sheet pan. You could do this in any roasting pan, baking pan, anything. As long as you can put it in the oven and you can spread it fairly thin, you're going to be fine. So this goes in. Spread it all out. I've got the oven preheated to 425. I'm going to stick it in the oven for 25 to 35 minutes. I want to get everything sort of roasty and broken down and hot and caramely. I want the onions to caramelize a little bit. So we'll get this in the oven and I'll see you back here for a tasting.
Hey,
Jules.
Hi, friends.
So, I give you vegetables in a pan.
Woo! It's like my dream come true. I can't even say more vegetables. What could I possibly?
It's all vegetables. It's eggplant, onion, a couple different types of tomatoes, green olives, a little bit of balsamic vinegar.
There's a lot going on in there.
Yeah, a little bit of char, because, you know, charred vegetables out of the oven. I need an olive. Look at that tomato.
I hydrated out some olives. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's like, and now I want some onion and some pepper, and or not pepper. Oh, it looks like tomato.
So that's a great side dish. Great side dish in the summertime if you're having a barbecue, because it's something that you stick in the oven, you forget about it. Don't forget about it. I almost forgot about it. So don't forget it, but that's bad. That's bad. Don't say that.
But you could probably do it on the side of your barbecue as well.
Yeah, you could stick it in the barbecue with the lid down and bake it with.
That's really good. Is there a little vinegar in there?
There's balsamic vinegar. Switch out the balsamic. You could use white wine vinegar or red wine vinegar if you wanted to. Switch out the spicing. I mean, all of these things and the vegetables.
I just throw it on some rice.
Yeah.
And eat it because that's, you know.
Yep.
I want more vegetables.
That's a great side dish. I really like that. And I'm not really much of a fan of eggplant, but you know.
That's pretty good though.
Pretty good in this one.
That's the small narrow eggplant. I'm assuming, yeah. Yeah, that cooks up a lot differently, doesn't it?
Okay. Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon.